the Commission has, in previous closed sessions, considered a number of times where there were concerns about reporting of anonymous contributions. Specifically in terms of the anonymous contribution concerns the Commission has seen, there are kind of three main concerns. One is that the committees that sometimes are receiving anonymous contributions are just lumping them as a whole and not itemizing each $10 or less individual itemized anonymous contribution. Two is that there's been a practice out there of committees leaving a bucket unattended or unsupervised, and insufficient safeguards to make sure that reasonable efforts are being made to either identify the contributor, which is also required unless it's under $10, or just making sure that there actually is less than $10 or less being given. Sometimes there have been cases where committees will report receiving a $20 bill, and they'll say, well, we think it's from somebody making change. So the Commission asked staff to bring back a prepared guidance document for the Commission to consider. And so that is laid out here on page 12 and 13 of the Commission's meeting materials. Basically, as far as this agenda item goes, it starts off with an explanation of the law that says that committees are allowed to accept anonymous contributions not exceeding $10. It goes through the requirements that committees are required to make full reports of what was received, and they're required to make a good faith effort to obtain all required information, including the name and street address of the person making the contribution. It also requires that an itemized statement of each contribution given anonymously. And so that's a basic summary of the law. What we did with this guidance document, the statutes don't specifically set out and prescribe that certain ways of collecting, such as setting a bucket out, is prohibited. But from a best practices standpoint, the Commission has observed that it would be best for folks not to do that. And so the guideline lays out very clearly, you're required to itemize each anonymous contribution as under $10, not lumping in the aggregate, and then addressing those concerns as a best practice.